Welcome back, everyone, to Fate Grand Order / Atlanta Knights. As you might have surmised, we're doing something of a variety night tonight. Fate Go has wrapped up its Lost Belt storyline and is moving to its conclusion, the start of which is the Ordeal Call plot. We'll cover the broad strokes, but tonight is mostly for one purpose: rolling for Saber Medusa. Now, my love of the character is a matter of public record, as is my respect for the talents of Yu Asakawa. Obviously, new versions of existing characters are common in mobile games, and the Nasuverse in particular. This, however, is Medusa's first and only turn at the SSR level. Thus, I am duty-bound to give it the old college try on camera. I have a decent pile of quartz to work with, but not quite enough to force the issue. We'll see if the RNG is merciful. I dare say my entire gacha career has been leading up to this moment. Yeah, see? Ivory gets it. But first, let's give some context here and explore what the game's been doing lately. To make a very long story short, Ordeal Call centers around a device called the Paper Moon. Yeah, oh no, you've been banished to Georgia. Oh, just wait. Mirage, good to see you. Yeah, we will get to that. But, yeah, to make a very long story short, Ordeal Call centers around a device called the Paper Moon, which is the map of Earth that it's a map gizmo that you've been working with to deal with the Lost Belts, the latest calamity threatening the world. After dealing with the last one, we had a plot twist that points right back to the ruins of our old base in Caldia, which we fled at the start of the storyline. Somehow, all this originates from there. However, we picked up some bad karma from the extreme measures we needed along the way, specifically the number of the extra classes that we've employed, the alter egos, foreigners, pretenders, etc., etc. And something is keeping us from approaching the ruins of our old base, physically repelling our ship from approaching. So our current project is proving we're still part of humanity, so we can actually get to the facility and find out what the hell's going on. TLDR, it's another round of Singularity Whack-A-Mole, all esoteric and technical in that typical Fate fashion. Anyway, as you can see, this storyline has its own subsection on the menu. A bunch of these are just repeatable missions with, that are... Sorry, I skipped ahead there. Yeah, a bunch of repeatable missions and chapter locations. We just finished up the first... that's the second one, right? That's taking us to Japan. The first one was... Where are you? Ah, right, it was over here. Should be fucking around with the 7 classes the fucking Holy Grail War started with. Who'd have thunk it? Yeah, I know, right? It's almost like this was destiny of a sort. But yeah, the dailies you can do on this map give currency to upgrade entire classes, which is a new mechanic. In fact, I'll back out a little bit and show that. That would be... Oh, no, wrong menu, my bad.
Yeah.
Good to see you too, Da Vinci. Basically, we have a sphere grid now for each of the classes, and also separate ones for the subclasses. These upgrades are individually minor, at least to start with, but the charts are vast, so these add up over time. We'll take a look at the Archer one here. Yeah. I'm ready. I am ready, Kren. Yeah, Fuyuki Grail was broken before they even started. Pretty much. The game was rigged for the start. So yeah, as you can see, the chart is extensive for each class, and you kind of need a good amount of... You basically get... You can get a maximum of 30 of this, I don't even know what I forget what this is called. Santa Starlight, yeah. You can basically you can get maximum of 30 of that a day, and as you can see, they start needing more of that the further you get out. The upgrades are kind of minor, but the chart is extensive, so we're talking some pretty big improvements to performance over the long term. It's a QP sync, exactly. Might as well go ahead and update that. Yeah, let's do 7 heroic servants, and there's 9. One interesting detail is this also includes buffs to your command spells, and that's specific to the class you unlock it for, but we do not have enough feathers there. That's alright, we'll throw that on something else. Which, you know, most of the time you're keeping those in reserve just in case you wipe on an important boss fight, but it does kind of incentivize making them a little more often. This provides a decent buff to attack and defense. Might as well go and throw that on for riders. Saber or bust. Saber or bust. Yeah, you're right. We're going to throw one on there as incentive. Yeah, we'll throw one on that as well. Actually, increase in extra attack effectiveness. It takes 60. So, yeah. It's another resource sink. But, ooh, hey. Alright, looks like we got to a gate here. Why not? Go ahead. And yeah, it is basically it's a slow grind, but not a very demanding one. Like I said, you're limited to 3 of these missions a day with a max reserve of 9 deployments. Each gives about 10 points. The ordeal call nodes all drop various useful bits as well. One of them actually gives a ton of QP, so they're actually pretty good incentives to poke at it. But anyway, to get back on plot matters, to explain what else is going on, the first chapter, which was set in here, had kind of an AI war going on inside the Paper Moon itself, simulating a Holy Grail war with some interesting twists. Relevant to my interests is that the chapter introduced Saber Medusa as the servant of the AI pattern after Sakura from the original game. They basically copied their dynamic there with some interesting twists given the premise. The plot itself honestly had some issues, but that part in particular I thought was done reasonably well. That said, Saber Medusa was a supporting character and occasional obstacle in that chapter, whereas the current event, which is back up here, that centers on her in particular. It's a series of tower fights where she's confronting her other selves. They've had a few of these. It's basically a game at death situation. Battle up 100 floors at a time, one at a time. Cool down to several hours on each servant you use. Make good use of your roster and make it to the top. Simple and straightforward, at least mechanically. In fact, we'll go ahead and fight one just for funsies. Oh, in fact, Fran, I haven't made use of you too much. Why don't we throw you in here? Scotty, where you at? Fran needs some muscle. There you go. And you know what? Just for extra quick memes, where is Osakabe? Where are you? There you are. But anyway, yeah, the fights themselves are relatively straightforward. Narratively, it does actually take kind of an interesting twist. Yeah, NP3 kind of negates moon cancer issues, exactly. Once you're up to a certain rank, it's less of an issue. But yeah, anyway, the fights themselves aren't too much to worry about. As you can see, it's a straightforward lineup. No tricks, no gimmicks, no break bars. We're just going to juice up Fran here. Nope. Right. Forgot to up the speed here. Backity back. Alright. I like Fran a lot. She's a bit finicky. Big problem with her is that her NP inflicts a stun on herself, and her NP juice skill inflicts a burn debuff, which, you know, she's a berserker with no real hard protection on her, so every, even a sliver of health taken off her is a bit of an issue. But, what can you do? You can't actually... Oh, looks like that card's up. Perfect. What I did in her case is I gave her a command card that lays down a stun prevention debuff, and this one, her quick card, actually... Oh, this works out perfectly. This will purge the burn debuff as well. So with a little bit of monkeying around with card effects, you can actually mitigate her effects and make her more useful. Exactly, she's a wave clearer. Alright. Osakabe. Decrease debuff, resist, critical strength. That's not necessary. What's the charge on you got? Not nearly enough. I was hoping I'd have enough. I should have... it's good enough. I was hoping I'd have enough to get her a quick effect in. That's tied to her Noble Phantasm. That's alright. Anyway. Fran. Punish. So yeah, the story of the event kind of takes a twist. You start with the simulator going haywire in classic Star Trek style, and at the moment, we are running around taking pictures of servants' feet. Yeah, forget it, Jake. It's the Nasuverse. Alright, go team. Yes. Click that, thank you much. Yeah, it's a pretty good bond farm, and actually the CE they give you for it ups the bond by 100%. So they're basically expecting you to sort of spread it out and get a lot of people. Yeah, gotcha strikes again. So yeah, as you can see, we're getting feet pics. Literally, we're just taking shoes. I mean, this whole thing was started up apparently by Babon Sith, so that is in character for her. And, you know, we didn't know that at the time. Servants' feet? Yeah. They've officially jumped the shark. Yeah, it's insane. It's crazy that this is Fate. This is where the Fate canon is now. Like, honestly, I kind of respect it in a way. Anyway, we are here for the main event. Let me get the summon screen up. And I figure it takes about a couple minutes to go through the animations for a 10 pull. Or 11 pull, actually, which is about 30 quartz. So do the math, and we're looking at about half an hour of pulling unless I get lucky. Now, I could just spam that, but I kind of feel like that's bad juju. So what we'll do, and this is where the title comes in, is a bit of reading while this is playing out. I've got my paperback copy of Atlanta Nights. We're going to pick up where I left off at Chapter 10 before I jumped ahead to the machine-written chapter. Let's see where we at. That's Chapter 12. Oh, that's the other Chapter 12. This book is a goddamn journey. Alright. We'll crank the volume down. We'll drop the volume down here. And we'll go ahead and throw the ticket here. Why not? Anything interesting? I'm going to laugh if this gets it. Oh, man. Yeah, it's going to be a night. I can tell. One way or another, we will reach Valhalla. Alright, let's party. Alright, Chapter 10. The elegant Polo Club walls were adorned with a great plenitude of exquisite paintings, depicting a tremendous multitude of beautiful scenes, with still lives of flowers, horses, sailing boats, and landscapes. They are from all sorts of great painters, and they had one every few feet. Their frames are gold gilt. Oh, we had a tense switch there. And filled with curlicues and fancy carving. The floors were polished white marble, with veins of luminous color running through them, and you can see your countenance in them because they polished every morning. The commodious... I'm going to assume that's a word. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me! What? What?! Holy shit! Okay, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Okay. Okay. Oh, man. I swear to God this wasn't intentional. Are you fucking for real? Well, you know, that's how you know she's the best girl in the franchise. She always shows up exactly when she's needed. Oh, come on, what even is this now? What the fuck? Oh, you gotta be fucking... What the fuck? Okay, I've gotten her up to like 3 now. Reacher just shows up double fucking SSR. Oh, man. I need a minute here. Like, I've had that happen a couple times. Not under pressure on the first fucking 11 pull of the night. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, man. Yeah, words fail me. What can I say, man? Believe in the power of Yu Asakawa.
Servant, Saber Medusa よ.
I hear you, Karen. Thank you much.
私じゃない私がいっぱいいる。なんで？素でうざいんだけど。
She's a little bit younger than her classic form. And part of the plot is she's a little more no-nonsense. That was with her appearance in the Ordeal Call chapter as well. Slowly getting used to the fact that there are other versions of her. But also, aspects of her personality are still there, and she still kind of fawns over Pegasus when he appears and other cute little things. She absolutely adores Medusa Lily. Yeah. The Sabers are all varying flavors of crazy. Like, fucking Vitra. Like, out of nowhere, too. Man, I should get some fucking lotto tickets. Although this is probably where my luck went. Man. I'd say we should keep rolling, but I feel like that'd be tempting fate at this point. You know what? Let's take her for a spin. I think I've got enough materials. Yeah, the wife pile. Oh. Hey, Da Vinci. Got someone new to the roster here. Yeah, I think we can work that out. Alright. Alright, Medusa. Eat the rest.
再現ないよ、私。
That you are, Medusa. That you are. I'm gonna laugh if I don't actually have enough ascension mats for her. Hey! She's got an Oculus Rift. Awesome.
精神年齢が上がってしまったようですね。
Ah! Now she sounds a little more like classic.
言われてみれば、いつの間にか。こちらの方が今の霊気的に落ち着くというだけです。私の本質は変わりません。特に気になさらないでください。
Yeah, I feel like they are giving her more fashion options here than all the rest of her forms combined. And you know, why not? 10 out of 10 goddamn design.
戦乙女のようだと。おそらくそれはアテナの因子のせいでしょう。好ましいものではありませんが。あなたが悪気があって言ったわけではないというのはわかりますので、謝る必要もありません。
Alright, what do we got here?
自己封印が解けているように見えるかもしれません。
Damn.
見かけ上だけです。
Yep. Gotta throw the full cards on, that's what I was saving for. A bit optimistic, but you know.
いえ。
What can I say?
私が本気かどうか、目を封じているか否かで判断できなくなったとも言えますね。前言撤回します。警戒してください。
It is a lot of spiky bits, but you know. You work in Chaldea, you gotta get used to co-workers that are potentially dangerous to handle, but mean well and respond well to hit bats. Most of the time. I like to imagine that we did all this. The protagonist of the game did this for like college credit or something, and figured they'd be gone for a week or something. And like, here we are 6 years later, still somehow 16 years old. And just quietly wondering if this will count towards graduation. Like, just, you know, a humble and petty concern that nonetheless sticks on our mind. Because eventually, someday, this war is going to end. One would hope. Showing off the back, nice. Yes, yes I can. Yeah, doesn't that just work out perfectly? Like I said, it's all been leading up to this. Everything after this is just denouement.
興味を持って近づくのは勝手ですが、覚悟はしておくべきでしょう。その怪物がたとえ女神のように涼しい顔をしていたとしても、心の中では食べてしまいたいという欲を必死に我慢しているのかもしれない。
You say that like I'm supposed to be repulsed by that. Alright, let's take it for a spin. Yeah, next she'll complain about her height. Yeah, that is still the ultimate charm point about her, is the fact that she has angst over being like 5'8" or whatever, just perfectly average height. I'll probably do that later. It'll take some time to click through all that. Let's see, where you at? She's 160 centimeters, she's actually smaller. Yeah, again, she is younger, kind of earlier in the timeline. Reflected in her initial attitude and appearance, to be sure. Honestly, I'm impressed that Asakawa was able to voice all flavors of Medusa and Uriel and Senno. She's got range. It's always kind of funny tuning into her streams, because she does dual language, English and Japanese, and sometimes she'll, like, switch between one of them, switch between languages, like, mid-sentence, or to utter an expletive. So she'll be, like, saying something in Japanese, and then she'll go, fuck, 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 because she's, like, playing Dark Souls and getting chased by something. Alright, anyway, right. So yeah, she's got her stun with a bunch of shit on it, so this increases, quick guard, critical strength, very handy. Also inflicts curse when she does, quick. She's a lot more focused on quick specific, damage than, her classic form, which is more about kind of enabling others to do damage on subsequent waves. She's got a charge, which is good. Increases attack for all allies. Demonic allies, quite a few that would fit the bill there, very handy. And she's got an invincible. Very handy. In fact, other than Medusa Lily, I think she's the only one. So, also debuff immune. Kind of a rare niche, but very handy, especially in this event. So, what the hell? We'll throw it all on. Beautiful, beautiful. Actually, I probably should have thrown that on Zork a lot there, but yeah, whatever. Lakshmi. She's kind of fun. Her whole thing is she's actually kind of... She has almost negative luck for story reasons. So all her skills here have chances to fail. So a good idea is to throw this down first since that increases buff success rate. Yeah, we'll definitely want to upgrade that at some point. Alright, Okita. Yeah, what the hell. This is overkill, as you'll see. That'll do her. Alright. Time to start charging up. Ladies, get to it. They actually made an interesting change recently. This will be a fortuitous opportunity to talk about it. They gave quick cards kind of a nice buff here. Basically, if you select a quick card to lead off with, that lays down an automatic 20% bonus to your critical chance here. Very handy. That's in effect giving you an extra 10 stars applied automatically across all cards. So if you want to turn like an 80% to 100 is a good way to do that. And you also get 20 stars if you combo them. So there have been a few little interesting changes here and there. Hey, there we go. Alright, she's ready to fire. Aw, motherfucker. Oop, there goes Liz. Alright. 2 left. You know what? That works out. We'll hit it twice and then we'll fire that and that should do it. Alright. Okita. Lakshmi, Medusa, light him up. Beautiful. God, I love this woman. Not bad. Good bit of buffing with really only Lakshmi and your Mystic Code to start with. So yeah, at this stage of the game, there's a whole set of busted ass sabers to work with. You know, Okita there as well. I've obviously fully invested in her, so you've kind of got your pick. But still, I will not complain in the slightest. Alright, well, that went a lot quicker than I was expecting. Take it easy, Kren. We'll throw the rest and see if we can get an extra copy of her another time. What I will do... since we still have like an hour to go. Yeah, I will... Let's pull up my room for a second here. Hey, X, good to see you. X Alter, I should say. Yeah, we'll drop the volume a little bit. And let's get some reading in anyway. We'll get through Chapter 10, why not? It's been that kind of evening. Oh, where did I leave off? There we go. Right. Right. A commodious, confident cloakroom was standing discreetly behind the double door for coats. Door, comma, for coats, but was empty on this lovely, gorgeous, beautiful morning. Alright, somebody is fond of copying from the thesaurus here. And again, for a refresher for those just joining us, Atlanta Nights is a book intentionally written as rubbish, as a way to mock the publisher. It was a prank, basically. They were trying to point out that this publisher would put basically anything to print. Anyway, there was an elegant, gracious, wide stairway to the second floor that had gilt on the black iron railing. It was orthogonal, and it curved around it. The carpet was bright, vivid, glorious red. The French windows in the vestibule were open to the patio, and the sound of tennis games came in, and the scintillating, witty, sparkling chatter from the black wrought iron tables and chairs with all their twisting, twining, singulated vines in their arms and legs there is singulated a word Cingulatted. I'm going to assume yes, nothing's been misspelled in this so far. Where lunch was being served and the smell of food came in too. There was a guest book on the table in the center of the vestibule, open to hold the disguised names. There was a flower pot of Wedgwood china. Blue and white sat behind it, filled with a colorful fragment, teeming profusion, and arrangement of the sweet-scented, multicolored flowers. Their vivid color contrasted with the stark, plain, severe starkness of the unadorned walls. The Atlanta Polo Club was an old and respected and very venereal institution. Oh, man. That caught me napping. Oh, Jesus. It had been founded more than 2 centuries ago and was members from all the most respectable, notable, and antique families in the area. When Sherman came marching through Georgia, they had saved a few things from the old Polo Club, and the noble and distinguishable members were very proud of their traction. Their gads been very poor after the war. I think they're supposed to be they had been, but they gads. They gads been very poor after the war, but no presumptuous, odious, vile, as in V-I-A-L, like a flask, carpetbagger, or scallywags had been permitted to scornfully, contemptuously darken the doors of the Polo Club. They had, yeah, venereal. You know what? Hang on a second. Let me get the link to Atlanta Nights. I'll throw it in the chat. Here we go. Feel free to follow along. Again, this story is a fucking journey. Yeah, we are on Chapter 10, which is page 65. Right. Here we go. They had carefully rebuilt it of dark oak paneling and the lead-framed windows that were there now. They had spared no expense. They had played polo with cavalry horse, brought carefully back from the war by young, handsome, honorable capital C cavalry officers of immemorial memory from the war. They were very, very proud of their disgusted memory and extended ancestry. They had antique cavalry swords and crossed over every marble fireplace. Many people tried to join it and couldn't. It was very exclusive. Some of the aged members don't want anyone at all from the north to join, but there were other members who were retrogressive and onward thinking, and they managed to ease folks about those members as long as they stood docility and listed resentfully when the members talked prolixly about the novel war. Skim the text. Suddenly, they had wild sex there. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, again, there was a line about this somewhere that goes something like, why read any average book written by an amateur? Why read a terrible book written by an amateur? This is a terrible book written by experts. Let's see. Some of their new members were very good polo players, and they had industriously managed to won many difficult games. All right, they keep using two with two O's, as in like quantity, like too much, instead of TO, the particle. Anyway, let's see. Irene Stevens starts to pertly walk into the polo club. She had long blonde hair and a voluptuous body. She was about 20. She was dressing in an expensive designer cerulean gown. I think it's cerulean or cerulean. Again, one of those words I keep hearing different ways. And not a bit of jewelry. Her beauty needed no jewelry. She tried and signed the guest book. She had come there from the hotel when she had checked out that morning. She had driven here down the tortuous roads by all the Civil War monuments and past the pastures where they got the polo horses. They were all thoroughbreds and very beautiful. There had been flowers all along the way. Roses and tulips and asters and crocuses and lilies and magnolias. She had managed to park her vehicle in the newest parking lot, but she had been compelled to park it where the ferocious sunlight would infernally heat it up while she was leisurely enjoying the polo club. The soaring oak trees and maple trees had gloomily, dismally shaded the parking lot. Elegantly, she walked up the stairs, capital S for she there. The gown swished mysteriously about her legs. The sparkling mirror in the stairway considerately let her prudentially endeavor to carefully check her hair and jewelry. The artificial incandescent light, it did not become her. It unflatteringly made her verdant dress and gold necklace look ghastly unbecoming. But nothing could, in its worst efforts, make her look less than marvelously stunning, could really detract from her gorgeous beauty and loveliness, and she hurriedly took arctic comfort and consolation in that. Oh man. Too bad I did all my drinking earlier. I should have liquor for this. She urgently meandered down the marmoreal hallway to the opulent, exotic, expansive bar. It was very, very crowded and odorously noisy. All the men instantly stopped and ardently looked at her. She wearisomely sighs. She was getting very tired of the way all the men instantly stopped and ardently looked at her voluptuous body and long blonde hair and her vermilion dress and her gold wash with the diamonds. Especially when they were such tiresome, stuffy old businessmen, and none of them could adequately, competently, sufficiently play tennis, let alone anything more private. Oh-ho! And all the women cattily looked at her with sniffy expressions, when they were foolish, wearing too much makeup and revolting, unsightly jewelry. She can be already heard the snide gossip began to perambulate its gossipy peregrinations about the ostentatiously crowded bar. Damn it. Oh, this is such a mouthful. Like, this isn't the worst written chapter. Like, it's hard to top the machine written chapter, but goddamn. They just... The writers just go for the fucking throat with their adjective choices. Swiftly, she sveltely, Sveltely, walks up to the bar and smoothly orders a Bloody Mary. The bartender sagaciously nods. He competently takes a crystal glass. Consequently, he gets the imported foreign vodka and put it in the glass with the red opaque tomato juice. He sticks a fair wedge of easy lemon on the edge of it and promptly gives her it. She comfortably sat back in her opulent, luxurious chair and leisurely sighed. This was the right thing, after a long, wearisome, odious burdens and troubles of an appalling day like that. She toyed with her pearls. Okay, that was a whole separate paragraph right there. She toyed with her pearls, paragraph break, next sentence. The comfortable chair was brown leather and nice. She liked it, and she was here at the bar. Alone. It was nice. Okay, this next page is a long series of like single sentence or two sentence paragraphs. Just suddenly there's a shift in formatting that's throwing my eyes off. Alone. It was nice. No one would talk here. Yeah, nobody ever talks at the bar. She carefully tried and soothed out the skirt of her sallow dress. She fortuitously remembered Henry Archer. She managed to shivered in memory. No wonder no one was looking attentive anymore next to him. She sipped her martini. That is when Stephen Suffern saw her. Stephen was a well-built and well-hung young masseuse at the polo club. He has an eye for the ladies, but bats for both teams. His eyes narrowed when he saw her. Irene Stevens. Here. H-E-I-R here. That's H-E-A-R, I'm sorry. Here as in listen. Alone. There was no one around. Yeah, except all the people gawking at her. No one would come to the polo club on such a dreary, wet day, especially so entirely early in the morning. Thunder cracked thunderously overhead. There was a loud, voluminous drumming and thumping of precipitous and abundant rain. He walked towards her, slowly, took each step in leisure, contemplating Irina. Oh, hey, yeah, gone from Irene to Irina. With gimlet eyes, taking in that voracious figure and the elongated blonde hair, the carroty dress, the ruby band. He wanted to linger, to savor the moment, to pounce at once. She leisurely drank from her gin and tonic again. Irina, he pontificates, you are the daughter of Isaac Stevens. I will reveal your dark secret to your father unless you allow me to have my way with you. What? No, exclaimed she, horror-struck. Yes, grated he, harshly. You will not, expostulated she. I will reveal your dark secret, exclaimed he. Oh my god, this is some high school theater dialogue. It's great. I will not allow you to have your way with me, she avowed. You will, he averted. No, you won't reveal my dark secret, threatened she, numbly. My father will never believe... Okay, my father will never believe you, and there's like a long space between believe and you. I will, and he will, exerted her. You won't, and he won't, claimed he... Oh god, they switched speakers! They did the thing where, like... they did the thing in cartoons where... One character is saying, no I won't, and the other character is saying, yes you will. And they do it such frequently that eventually one character flips it around, and it's reversed who's saying what. Holy shit. I will, and he will, remonstrated he. You won't, explained she, in an explanatory tone of voice. My father will be very, very, very furious with you. He will certainly blame you. I will, and he won't, demonstrated he, contemptuously. You won't, and he will, proclaimed her, definitely. I will, and he won't, declared he, defiantly. You won't, denounced her, angrily. I already told him last Tuesday. Oh, shit. Oh, she's pulling a Watchman. Nice. It was as if a copious gallon of wintry water had been surreptitiously poured over his handsome head. That's handsome without D or E, Hansom. He sat stonily, and goggled explicitly, and gaped impassively, as if he were a fish precipitously extracted from its appropriately aqueous environment. He boisterously, wordlessly, softly sputtered like a boiling tea kettle. He stolidly sat like an ancient, moss-overgrown statue from the radiantly fragrant gardens that the noble city was plenteously, bountifully endowed with. She contentiously got up and stylishly walked away. Her amethystine dress... Is that a stone? Amethyst... amethyst is a stone, but amethystine I don't think is... That might be making it up. Yeah, he did what? Oh, Jesus, yeah. There's just... I'm getting such a mental picture of this. I am at once confused but enraptured. Anyway, she contentiously got up and stylishly walked away, her amethystine dress swirling about her ankles, fondly remembering his exquisite, superb physique and form of his well-proportionate, muscled body. She dazedly walked down the polished wood of the stairway and out of the polo club, and up the hill and under the oaks and over to her vehicle. End chapter. It's only 10 o'clock. You know what? We'll do one more. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Chapter 11. Amethystine is the adjective form of amethyst. Okay, so it is a word. It's just, yeah. It's not an actual... It is not a stone. It is the quality of being amethyst. All right. Okay, Chapter 11. The nightclub was the Blue Velvet. It was noisy and hot, and Callie was thinking how the sweat made her look hot. The heat of the Atlanta last night made it even hotter inside. Bruce didn't like the Blue Velvet because it was full of old people who thought it was still a cool place, only it wasn't anymore. He did think Callie looked hot. Hey, do you want to dance? He said. Sure. Bruce wasn't hot, and thought if he tired Callie out, he might get a better deal on the merging companies. Callie thinks Bruce is studly looking, and she'd like to dance anyway, so she said yes. Amethyst is a purple color. How appropriate for the purple prose. Nice. Yeah, but her dress is blue. Look, yeah, we're doing the thing like in a dream. Details can change because you're not really thinking in terms of coherency. Like if you're not paying attention to them, the qualities of a thing in a dream can shift on you unexpectedly. That's kind of what this feels like. It's very dreamlike. Anyway, let's see. Right, Kelly thinks Bruce is studly looking and she'd like to dance anyway, so she said yes. They danced for a long time, until she says she was tired and could they sit down at a table. Now she felt really tired, but was sure the sweat made her look really hot to Bruce. She smoothed her glossy black tresses. You didn't put any drugs in this drink, did you? She said. She thought Bruce might try to take advantage of her to get a better deal on the merger. Speaking of the merger, Bruce asked. Yeah, he's totally going to roofie her to get a better IPO or whatever. What do you want to do about that? He has to shout over the noise of the band. The band was a retro 80s punk band. They were a local group and looked like high school boys. Okay, yeah, they were retro, but they were also high school aged or whatever. They probably just looked young, whatever. Anyway, Callie thought one of them looked pretty hunky, but not as hunky as Bruce. I think it's a good idea, she whispered. What couple's a million? Bruce decided he should think about it and said, I'm gonna have to think about it. Yes, Studley. Yeah, they write to trigger the reader. No matter what your literary background is, no matter what your vocabulary is, something in this is gonna fuck with you. Let's see. Bruce decided he should think about it and said, I'm gonna have to think about it. I don't know why that got me, but it did. Did you want more? Well, sure, of course I want more. Why would I want less? He really thought he could get a lot more. He wasn't thinking just about that one kind of merger either. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, think about another kind of merger, if you know what I mean. If it's pretty warm in here, maybe later we could go somewhere quieter and talk about the details. Like what kind of details? Like who will run the merged company, for one thing. I sort of thought I would, and you'd be my second in command. I think we'll have to talk about that, but I think we should dance some more right now. They danced for a long time. This is where it happens. While they were dancing, Bruce asked Callie about her husband. Did you wear him out dancing like this? You mean like dance so much until he had a heart attack or something? Yeah. No. Bruce laughed. I almost died once. I heard about that. I did a lot of research on you before I agreed our companies should merge. It was a car crash. You seem pretty well recovered. I have some pretty nasty scars, though. I was 16 and ran the car and I run the car into a pole. I'll have to see them sometimes. Maybe later. We go somewhere quieter to talk about the merger. She spills her drink all over him. Oh, I'm so sorry. I guess we'll have to go now. No, it's okay. I could dry it off with these napkins. He wiped at his shirt. He was starting to get hot, and it kind of made he feels cooler in a way. Besides, he wasn't ready to talk about the details of the merger yet. He wanted to make sure Callie was more tireder first. See that all dry? He said. I think he said, supposed to be like, see that? All dry. By the way, I think it's pretty cool what your company does. Transatlantic shipping is pretty interesting. Oh, man. Things no guy has ever said and been sincere about. Let's see. Yes, it will be good to be merged with your software company. I know you make a lot of money with your internet multi-level marketing software. Oh, baby, yes. Yeah, the super cash acquisition method. With the money you make from all those people sending you money and from my shipping, we'll be able to take trips all over the world all the time. Besides, she thought he was pretty studly, and if it didn't work out after a while, they could unmerge their companies too. You're older than a lot of the women I talk to, he said, and he meant it. My husband said the opposite thing when he was alive. He said I was younger than the people his age, but I learned a lot from him about running business. Nobody thought I could run it after he died, but I showed them. Bruce thinks that she has a pretty good body for someone her age. She was probably the same age as his mother, only his mother wasn't very good looking like Callie. She had a voluptuous body, even if she wasn't twice as old as I. Okay, yeah, the non-conversational text. The text of the book is using I. Fantastic. Well, it's getting late, isn't it? Do you think we should stop dancing now and talk about business? She really wanted to get the big deal finished tonight and not have to involve all the lawyers. I don't know. Bruce wasn't sure if she was tired enough. Since she was older, she was probably wiser. Even though he was well-to-do himself from his software company, she was twice his age and had probably learned a lot more about business than he did, so he has to be careful of any trick she might pull. Are you pretty tired? We could go back to my place. It's pretty hot in here, she said. Let's have another drink, since you spilled that one before you didn't get to finish it. Okay, but just one more. Could we get another drink? Bruce asked the bartender. She was pretty hot, too, and more Bruce's type since she was younger. Bruce liked her red hair. Callie's hair was black, which was okay with Bruce, but he liked red better. The bartender was maybe exactly 22. He knew she had to be more than 21 to serve. He thought he should order more drinks just to have her come over to where they were sitting at the bar. Here you are. Thanks. Oh god, Ivory's down. Man. Here you are. Thanks. You're welcome. Thanks, Callie said too. And you're welcome too. Bruce liked the way the bartender said, "You're welcome," but he was here with Callie and thought he should pay attention to her instead. They were here to talk about the merger, was another reason. Okay, that sentence. They were here to talk about the merger was another reason. We could merge our offices together, too. That might be nice. Callie didn't like her office all that much. It was on the top floor of the Nation's Bank building in downtown. That's being the tallest building in Atlanta. The view was good, but she didn't like how long it took to get up the elevator every time. I don't really like my office, she said. Well, then we can all use my office. His office was back in California and had a lot of plants in it. Bruce thought it was cool that they hired someone to come in with a tank of water to water the plants since they were real and not fake. It didn't look out over the city or anything, but he didn't know what kind of view Callie's office had anyway, so it didn't matter. When we go to your place to talk about the merger, you can show me your scars. I bet you have impressive scars. From the car crash. Yes, they are impressive. He sipped his beer. I could show you here, but I'd have to take off my shirt, and I think they don't allow that here. He smiled. Callie smiled too. She wanted to make sure she didn't get too drunk, so she finished this one, which was a scotch, and ordered a beer. Oh, man. You don't get as drunk. You don't get as drunk from a beer. She held her drinks pretty good, anyways, because she learned to drink scotches from her husband, who had been a heavy drinker. It was two. Okay, it was two. Period. Bad Bruce was playing hard to get about the merger. That was two separate sentences starting with Bad Bruce. Awesome. He was wondering if she had enough to drink yet, so he could get a good deal. She was thinking they were having one of those awkward silent times in a conversation and she should say something. If we did merge, what will that do to the depreciation, do you think? Or, depreciation, you think? Bruce didn't know anything about depreciation, was now getting worried. You're not thinking of backing out, are you? No, I don't think so. The depreciation thing is worrying you, I think. It's always a worry, isn't it? Well, it's different on shipping than on software, I'm pretty sure. We'll make a lot of money if we merge, though. We both know that. Bruce stretched. She thought she could see the outline of his scars under his tight black shirt that was the same color as her hair. He was afraid he might be getting tired, and it was probably time to move things along. Merging their companies was going to be a good idea, no matter what the objections. And he told her, "I think merging will be a good idea, no matter what. Don't you?" He was a little worried about driving because he'd had his car crash at night like this, and it was when he was maybe a little drunk, so he was hoping he could drive okay. They would really make a lot of money if they merged. He had done a lot of mergers, and this was going good. His accountant would be really happy with this merger. Do you want to have another glass of wine, or do you think we should go somewhere quieter? I can hardly hear you in here. She could hardly hear him either. So they went back to his place and hammered out the details of the merger and signed the papers. Then that's it. We're merged. She toasted him with the champagne glasses. That wasn't all that got merged that night. They had wild sex. That's the end of the chapter. Oh, God. This is a treasure. I love this. I'll have to do more reading for this. This book is a journey, and I kind of want to see where else it goes. But I think we will call it there. I think we can't possibly end on a better note than that. Wouldn't you agree, X? Oh, right. X, sorry. You're X Alter. My bad. My apologies. I'll buy you a popsicle later.
よりとっととシェアルームの片付けをやってほしいです。これだから属性混沌は。
Aw, my little Sith Lord can't be this cute. But yeah, we'll call it there. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Have a good night. It's been a very, very fortuitous evening. God bless you, Asakawa, wherever you are. Yeah, the merger wasn't the only thing that got hammered out, am I right? Yeah, exactly. Man, we will be back to Stalker 2 on the 28th. And, what was the... right, I'm going to try Monster Train on the 29th. I picked that up while it was on sale. Heard a lot of fun things about that. But we'll call it there. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Have a good night, and see you next time. Monster Train 1. I wanted to try that out before the second game.